don't know how to do this stuff. Hold on. Let's, hmm. Let's see. Hold on. What do you guys see? Can you guys see the spies right there? I think I just closed something out wrong. Yeah? Okay, let me just make sure Mike could see it. Hold on. I only see a white screen. I don't see... Let me just see if Michael's around. Hold on. What's coming in right now? The video is coming in right now.
Your call has been forwarded to voicemail.
See, I don't know if this is actually working for the recap. Let me see if Harak is around. Hold on. Let's see. Hold on a sec. Recap is working. You're good. All right, Greta. Thank you. There we go. I don't know why I can't see it, but I'll work with it. Thanks. Hold on. Hold on. All right, I'm going to make it as if we're starting right now. Good afternoon. My name is Scott Redler. I'm the Chief Strategic Officer of T3Live.com. Welcome to today's recap and look ahead. Just so you guys know, it's 12:41. It is not 4 o'clock. It's 12:41. I need to leave by 4:05, so I want to make sure I at least tell you guys my thoughts and, you know, perhaps see where we're at. So the pricing might be different towards the end of the day, but I will do a few charts at the end. I just won't be able to do a whole recap. So if I were to say, you know, whether or not this was impressive today, I think pretty impressive. You know, we SPYs held above the prior day's low, right? It looked as if we were going to break this spot and maybe see the 8-day and shake the tree, and it didn't. As of right now, the SPYs just kind of came in a little bit, but that happens. We're up 11 cents here. Does feel weaker because, again, I feel like we focus a lot on tech. We focus a lot on semis. You know, as far as the Qs, not the end of the world, right? The Qs kind of came below Friday's low and came back above it, and still above this 467 area. So, you know, you could say that pretty impressive considering. Hold on one second, Mikey. Yeah, just credit code. I had to log out of the screen and I wasn't sure if I was doing the recap the right way, but I'm good. Say hello to everybody. Say hi. Mikey says, all right, goodbye. Anyway, so, you know, I would say digestion and not so bad considering that, you know, Apple, one of the biggest companies in the world, you know, has a huge gap to the downside now. And, you know, I'd say there's a good lesson to be learned here a little bit, you know, for the fact that I know that, you know, a lot of us try and use so many different kind of edges. Me too. You know, I have been doing this since 1999, and I know everyone from everywhere. You know, I know hedge fund guys, I know sales traders, I know rebalance guys, I know guys on the floor, and everyone always tries to add value, and I get it, and that's cool. You know, we all try and help each other. But truly, the technicals never lie, and the technicals always, you know, need to be the one that you listen to more than any friends, any smart people, any this, any that. And you know, I know like a week or two ago, you know, the rebalance guys were like, hey, there's going to be a big buy on Apple, and you know, Buffett sold a big portion and it has to be bought back. They might start early, they might cheat, they might do whatever. It might be, or it might be at you know 352 or 350 when it happens. So bottom line is some try to like kind of get ahead of it. I almost did it a few times too, and then all of a sudden their iPhone shipments came out, and it was less than people thought, and you have a big hole in the chart right now. It actually held this spot, so anyway, we'll see where we are for the rest of the week. All I know is, um, didn't look horrible. It didn't show anything technically. Like if I wasn't thinking about that, I wouldn't have had it. But because I didn't want to miss something, I might. All I know is that you just have to always listen to the charts in general. But anyway, we'll see now. If this is the low of Apple, 213.92, then it won't be at least a headwind for the rest of the week. But who knows? Maybe it goes below that. Maybe we'll see the 100-day. But at this point, you now have a pretty big gap below that. So that's like it's a interesting dynamic to see. Will it fill this gap this week or not? If it doesn't, you have to be careful short term, tactically with with Apple because it's weaker. And again, a lot of people talking about just no one's getting a refresh. I have the 12 too. I'm not getting a refresh. There's no, they were talking AI features that were put off, and there's no foldable phone, and we're on iPhone 2024 right now. I don't mean to. I mean iPhone 162, whatever it is. I'm just kidding, but the 16 is the same as the 15 besides the camera, whatever. Anyway, I know there's the iTunes in the store, and I spend a lot of money there also. But when you're this close to all-time highs after a big move this year, and you're trading at a decent PE, and you're hearing that Buffett's selling a bunch, you kind of need to fire on all cylinders, which it's not. Anyway, we'll see how it goes from here. Meta's interesting. Meta feels like it's ready to go again. I don't know how many other times it's felt like it's ready to go, and I bought 540 calls, and I spent $4 or $6 or $7, and then Meta doesn't go. One of these times it will. At this point, a little bit tricky to be a buyer here when you could have been a buyer on that PDD news on Friday into weakness, and now just the question is, is it going to take off? I guess it depends on what's going to happen with the Fed all day long. I'm sure you heard all day long. I guess is it going to be a quarter? Is it going to be a half? And what's it going to do? And let's see where we are tomorrow. I wouldn't mind another day like this. If we can get another inside day above this area, chances are there's going to be some kind of great trade through here. I feel like if they do a half, the knee jerk as of right now maybe is to the upside. If they do a quarter, the knee jerk will be to the downside. But obviously we have a lot of time between now and then, so we'll see how that goes. But all in all, there's definitely money that's committed up here, and it's trying to make sure that it holds higher. One, two, that's a pretty big area. So anyway, IWM had a little bit of follow through. Today was a better sell than a buy, which we mentioned earlier on. XBI did trim some into strength. They bought some back at 2. Looks pretty good. Getting a lot of people talking about a lot of different type of pharmaceutical / bio / healthcare names, which is interesting. And some of the charts look good. Got to say Pfizer, nice move. Everyone on the Alpha team, got to give you guys a little shout out. Anyone in Pfizer? You guys got me in the options. I'm in the $30 options, so not so bad. I know people have been you're in tier 2. Okay. Phoebe's pretty good at this kind of stuff. If you look here, you're like, oh, I missed it. Well, if you go to the weekly chart, how much did you really miss? It's done absolutely nothing. This thing was a darling way back when, and it's turned into a nothing burger. So it looks like it's waking up. There's definitely some things behind it, so it's not a barn burner. And then someone also, I didn't buy Bristol Myers, but Bristol Myers looks pretty interesting too for a big, behemoth company that's been around for a long time. Name looking pretty tight, like it can go if it wants to. This is your weekly chart. If you want to get to your, daily chart to see what that looks like, it's got a nice chart pattern. If this was, this anything else, looks pretty good. Granted, it's a second up day, so you have to be a little bit more careful, but it looks good. If money wants to continue to rotate here, Some people are like, hey, Red Dog, is this a cup and handle in Bristol Myers? I'm like, well, you could say that, right? Here's your cup. It's not the most stereotypic one, but here's your cup, here's your handle, gets above this, and you also have some resistance there. Yeah, I have no idea what's in the pipeline. I have no idea what's going on with them overall. I'm just showing you the chart, and it looks pretty good, you know. Um, so anyway, it's obviously not Eli Lilly, that's been absolutely fantastic. That looks a little toppy, but still looks good. You got to see if this 918 holds or if this 893. Um, but again, look at the difference between these weekly charts. Like, talk about the trend is your friend. Well, Lilly's been trending for a while, so as long as it stays above here, chances are maybe there's another move to 1,000 plus. Hasn't been able to, but it looks good. A lot of great trades here. I've told you guys about my friend who named his daughter Lily way back when. Look at that. That's a friggin' chart trend. Wow. Changed people's lives probably. But anyway, and then you go like here, you go back to like what does Pfizer look like? A little different. Not every chart stock is created equal. Mr. Myers, look where that is. So you're talking about laggards. These are laggard plays I'm talking about. But sometimes things shift, and we'll see if it shifts. Anyway, let's go back. Let's go back to some tech. So, let's go back to other tech. So I am in Amazon. Amazon, you have retail sales tomorrow. I did have a pretty good buy in Amazon, to be honest. So I was targeting this 183.50. I put a bid into my swing account and I got filled. And it still looks, a little topping tail to bottom tail. I still like Amazon. We'll see what happens with retail sales tomorrow. Like I said before, Meta looks a little stronger, but again, we got to get a breakout in the market for this to get better. Apple has the gap. We'll see how that goes. I heard some people talking about Netflix again, but for some reason Netflix is really, really scared of 700. Every time it goes to 700, it kind of backs off. One of these times, though, one of these days, maybe it gets through, but we'll see. Um, let's see. Let's see. Um, so anyway, some guys are like, hey, what about the one-offs? They're a little bit easier. Like Dash is a one-off. It's gonna have to hold, and it's a little choppy the way it trades, but interesting. These guys brought it to my attention down here. We played it a few times, and then I got back involved there, so not so bad. I know last week I had Cart, which someone brought from the Alpha team. I'm not in it now, but it looks as if if you're comfortable and you could buy dips, there's other names out there, and this is kind of trending higher. In semiconductor land, the video wasn't horrible, but it definitely was a little tricky. If you had too much coming into today, kind of said it feels like it's gonna shake the tree, and it went as low as 114.36. So that's our new point of reference, 114.36. I'll get to those. So again, just so you guys know, it's 2:53. It's not 4 o'clock, so prices can change. We'll see. I'm talking about the semis. A bunch of guys are trying to short Vago, including me. At this point, it's hanging around. I still think you don't have to be in a rush. It can get down towards here, perhaps, if the semis want to come in a little bit more. I did say that if you are a good short, ARM was stronger than everything else, and now that the iPhone is getting a little bit of a negative news loop, you could probably short it, and some guys shorted it through here, and nice move. You got to be fast, and if you're fast, you're fast. If you're comfortable, you're comfortable. It all depends. Yeah, MU, this is still fine. Let this come into here. MU was weaker this morning. I don't know what it did. This MU is very broken. Very broken. I don't even know why, it's very broken. You had a little bottom tail. I don't see anything to do there except for, people made a lot of money during this sequence. It's changed. Another red dog reversal here. It's below the 8-day. I'd be careful there. Just flipping gears to Tesla again. Do I think it's It's hard. Like this stock has been hard. It is hanging here. Um, I got stopped out during lunch. It's still okay though. It still looks pretty good. I did add some options. Adding some options kind of sometimes makes you feel a little bit more comfortable. You're not worried about the knick-knack of every movement. It's only down 3. It's not a big deal. At some point you would think it can get above this, but until it does, it's not going to fill the gap. You can only fill the gap above 235 to get to 245. And then you got to get above this first. So we'll see how it goes. Um, yeah, it's a real pain in the arse, my friend Rick Friedman says. Um, Again, another one-off. Someone was saying this ASTS, these stocks. It's like when they're when you feel like you're trapped and you have too much size, they can get you. But the same way when you're on the right side of it, you can make percentage points real easy. And we did really well last week with this thing, and decently today. We sold some puts into here, took out some premium in this, bought the stock. I added earlier, wasn't easy. And I also sold some puts. The puts, I'm making good money on this. I'm a little smaller because again, it could really it could hurt if you're wrong. So, and again, it's still a high. It's like a concept name. So a concept momentum name can only be good when it's trading perfectly, by its by the momentum rules. And right now, it's trying to hold the moving averages, so it's trying to keep some shorts trapped. I do think it's almost done with the ATM and never announced it. It could be done with it. If that's the case, there's no more, raising money by selling it into the volume. And there is some big money behind this that say, hey, this thing's going a lot higher than 39. So I figure I'm not going to listen to the big money. Like if today we were down 2 and we went down 5, I would be like, all right, I'm not big money. I guess I got to get the hell out of this thing and revisit instead. By kind of knowing it, I was like, all right, great. Same thing happened with the CORZ. A friend of mine said, hey, this is a SPAC. It's got some crypto exposure, some miner exposure, some AI exposure. That's what the talk on Wall Street is. I looked at the chart. I was like, hey, it looks pretty good. So P.S. I bought a bunch here, and then made money with it Friday. And then I was down 50 cents this morning. I'm like, oh, this kind of sucks. And then I bought more, traded around it. I really didn't expect for it to do as well as it did, and sorry about that. CORZ. And now here you are. It's flat while, the Bitcoin ETF is down 3%, and this is a SPAC that's supposed to coordinate to a few of these things. I know they do some other things in their own merits. I didn't fully investigate it, but I'm saying, hey, if this could be flattish and you could buy in the hole, when Bitcoin is lower, if Bitcoin gets a bid in this and that, maybe it tries to take this out because they're saying it could go to 18 to 20 bucks. Well, it's got to get through 12 and a quarter for that, and Bitcoin has to start acting better, I would think. So anyway, just throwing it out there. So Bitcoin right now is not acting great. 4 down days, and this is still acting okay. So, interesting. This has got to turn soon. What's the low here now? 57.4. So anyway, this is down here now. This really doesn't. This really. It's really shouldn't have gotten through here. It did, but it still have a low or higher low. It's gotta stop going down soon. Otherwise, people are gonna lose some interest there too. All right, Fibonacci says here. Let me see this too. This is why we all help each other. Let's see. Cores, here's a story for those interested. Lots of cash from that partnership. That's why I stock up and the miners are trash. Bitcoin is another pain in the arse. Haven't traded. All right. So artificial intelligence and Bitcoin are the most successful gold rushes of the 21st century. Why are the Bitcoin miners pivoting to AI? These are the ones that have been horrible. Those are the usuals. So where is this? I don't know. Tells it just got a little better. But anyway, you can look at this on your own time. It's just you know what, Rick? It's just like an easy price point. and I'll stay with it until it's not working. Same way like YB and Rivian. Rivian, it sucks until there's news and it goes. It's not like a day trading vehicle where, um, it's just something you just trade that. But all in all, if you look at the chart here, of if it wasn't that, you'd say, oh, you know what? Look at this, nice base, right? Market's down. Does this look like a decent chart? Does. It looks like at some point it can get above that. So if so, again, not everything could be Tesla, Amazon, or Meta, or Pfizer, or Lilly. But Meta looks good though. Meta does look pretty good. Apple not so good. Well, but Apple can give you a trade. Hey, maybe tomorrow there's a trade into this gap. Maybe friggin' Fancy Pants in his orange jacket comes out and talks about the super cycle. They got it wrong and whatever, and then there's a trade into there. But we'll see. Um, yeah, me too. I tried to. I hit their knives. Fancy Pants. You know what? If the thing goes over $14, I'll wear the Fancy Pants jacket. And if Apple goes into the gap tomorrow, anyway. So again, I'm just reminding you, it's 3 o'clock, September 16th. It's not 4 o'clock. There's still a lot of time left in this market. SPYs right now are up 50 cents, hanging in there. Qs right now are down 230. XBI is showing some relative strength with with some names in that sector. IWM showing some strength. So we'll see how that goes into the Fed tomorrow. Anytime it feels like the IWM runs into something, it doesn't work thereafter. So you have to be careful. If anything, you're getting a pre-Fed move starting from this little red dog reversal on that Wednesday. Some guys really like Dell. I think Dell looks good, to be honest. I think I'm going to make it a power play. I need to get along it also, but I want to wait till it goes out as a power play, so it's only I'm buying it beforehand, but it's Dell anyway. It's not like we have anything to do there. What else? Let's see, does Alpha Team want me to go over anything else? What's the Soxel doing? Oh, okay. AFRM. Wow. They got it into the gap, so this gap is now lower and then came all the way up. Wow. Right back to the highs. That's impressive. Can't be upset with AFRM. Someone asked me to switch gears, go FCX. 4-day move into some resistance. SCCO. Yeah, nothing great, to be honest. Cost. So now let's see what that is doing, because that used to be a leader. It's still a leader, but having a tactically off day today. A little bit of got a little extended, got to below yesterday's high. I mean yesterday's low. 1-2 big travel range. Not the end of the world, but not the greatest candle. Oh, that's funny. Sorry. Nice. All right, guys. Listen. 303. Market's tight. What are the diamonds doing? Diamonds are an all-time high. I would think the SPYs are going to do it at some point. Could be tomorrow. Could be Wednesday. I've been making a little bit of cuter money trying to like sell some premium hires but I'm not being risky. I'm not rolling them up. I remember what happened the last time that happened. And we'll see how it goes. I do have a feeling at some point this week, this is going to be 568. Is it going to get above and stay above and close at 570 and give another big move, or is it going to go to 568 and then come back below 565 and give you a big topping tail, kind of like what the IWM did the last time? This is how tight it was going to the last time Fed gave you a false move and then that happened. Is that going to happen here in the SPYs? I don't know. Could. I'd rather not, but there's also maybe you can make money both ways and see what's strong that day, where the leadership is. But it is holding here. You have this big V, then you have a shallow retracement. This is considered a shallow retracement from 510 to 564 to, to 539. And now we came back up. We're digesting while some names are looking better than others. And, I would definitely not just have short in the brain, but be careful what you're buying and how much you have of it. All right, guys, 305. I'll post some charts at the close. I got to jump.